Hello and welcome to Slinky's YouTube channel. You probably accidentally clicked on the video, but hear me out before you click off. Maybe I can make you stay, because today we got something rather interesting here. I am going to compare the Paracyst and the Hema, two weapons from the Chem Lab in the dojo, which are often very overlooked. Why? Well, basically nobody gets a chance or uses them in general. But why though? Yeah, well, the Hema, it requires a buttload of mutagen samples, and people usually don't really farm mutagen samples just to donate them to their clan. So not a lot of people actually research that thing, and so there are only a few people out there who actually know how it feels and performs. And the Paracyst, well, a lot of people just think it's ugly, and it comes from the Chem Lab as well, and the Hema costs so much mutagen samples, so it's probably better than the Paracyst anyway, so why even bother trying it? So yeah, we gonna take these myths and completely run them over today, because I'm gonna show you that both of these weapons are real beasts everywhere you bring them. So, how do they compare though? Well, they don't really differ a lot in general. They're actually very close. The Hema looks more like an just infested blob, while the Paracyst is speculated to be the fully evolved version of, or more fully infested version of the Quanta, which goes in stages from the Quanta to the Mutilus Quanta and then to the Paracyst. It's basically like the infested version of the Harpack. Yeah, and in terms of stats, the Paracyst pretty much just has a little bit better accuracy, 1% less crit chance, same crit multiplier, almost double the fire rate, same magazine. Worth mentioning here is that the Hema has infinite ammo, though the Paracyst has not. They're both alarming, they both have 2-second reload. The Paracyst has 5% more status chance, and now the biggest difference is, even though both don't have any IPS on them, the Hema has innate viral, and the Paracyst has innate toxin, while the Hema has a little bit more base damage overall. So yeah, also worth mentioning is that I have pretty much the exact same ribbons for both, which makes comparing them rather convenient. The only difference is the negative I have. On my Hema Riven I have minus flight speed, which people might look at and be like, bruh, come on, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why? Well, they changed how flight speed works in pretty recent times, a couple months ago, because some people found out that you could crash the game if you had certain projectile weapons with a minus 100% flight speed Riven, because the projectiles would just not despawn. So they changed it to work like reload speed. Now if you have minus 100% flight speed on your weapon, on your projectile weapon, what it will actually do is it will halve the flight speed instead of completely removing it, which is okay, but also kind of sad for the people who wanted funny memes with minus flight speed ribbons. So yeah, here's my comparison between the flight speeds of the Paracyst and the Hema. That's also why you've seen my sexy lady right here, my Zephyr Burp Prime. You've seen her already, that's why I'm bringing her today, because I can use her Jetstream augment to speed up the Hema bullets. So it's more comparable, I suppose, even though it really doesn't do that much in actuality. But yeah, I'ma bring Zephyr so they look and feel a little bit more comparable. So yeah, let's get into the builds. For the Hema, I'm pretty much on my corrosive build, pretty much just building the normal regular build because I have crit chance on my Riven already. I'm not gonna add point strike. And I'm gonna add 190 and 160 here, because Hema already has 25% status chance and no IPS. That's pretty much enough to satisfy the status chance of it, and I can add a little bit more elemental damage and also adding more fire rate because it's pretty low. On the gas build, it's pretty much the general gas build, with the only problem being that I kinda don't really am able to run more fire rate because I opted for Serration instead. So I still have Bane there, obviously. Yeah, pretty generic. On the Paracyst, it's pretty much the same. Only difference is that I'm running 2 90s here instead of 60s and 90s, and I'm putting primed Bane of Corrupted in the last slot instead of more fire rate, because Paracyst doesn't really need more fire rate because it has almost double the fire rate of the Hema already. So that's pretty generic there. Just not going to add more status chance. On the gas build, well, it's exactly the same build as on the Hema, so yeah, there you go. Just 260s, 190 for gas, and then primed Bane of Corrupted for the juicy triple dipping of the gas procs. Exactly the same as the Hema. Should probably perform, well, we'll see how it will perform. Let's get into it. Let's start with the Hema corrosive test against heavy gunners. As you can see, it deals a lot of damage really fast. Adds that spicy viral proc, and even though the crit chance is only about a third of 100%, it still procs crits a lot, which really helps with the damage after stripping a little bit of their armor. The corrosive and the viral pretty much just synergize pretty well, and then just obliterate the enemies that the weapon is put against. So yeah, it's pretty good against pretty much everything. The bombards died equally fast, and the Drakkar Manic Bombards, well, they died very considerably fast. Yeah, like the Hema is probably one of the best corrosive weapons in the game, if you want to go for it, and added infinite ammo is probably a nice touch as well. Now for the Paracyst corrosive tests, well, interestingly enough, it just performs a slight tad bit faster than the Hema, even though you don't have the added viral procs in there. It pretty much boils down to having more fire rate. That's pretty much it. So you're basically trading the infinite ammo of the Hema for almost double the fire rate and status application with the Paracyst, which, well, I mean, you don't even have innate viral, but this still destroys. Like, this is like slightly faster than the Hema, probably around this level. If you go further, the Hema is probably gonna outscale a little bit because the viral kicks in after you strip the armor of the enemy completely, but that's pretty much it. Like, on this level, the Paracyst outperforms the Hema by just a little bit, and at higher level, the Hema starts racking up better, especially since the Paracyst performs especially well in this scenario because it has better accuracy than the Hema. In like general missions, it doesn't really matter that much, but yeah, so the Paracyst is just a little better here, while the Hema just gets better when you delve more into levels beyond the thousands, if you really want to use a weapon there. Now for the gas tests, sadly the Rivens I have don't have added toxin, which would really be beneficiary for this. Like, you can see with the Hema right now, it still does very well, but I had to cut the fire rate, which is kinda iffy, and the gas procs aren't that big because there's no added toxin. I could double stack on my Riven, but yeah, it still performs quite adequate. Same against the bombards, like usual. Those have a little bit less health, which gets halved by the viral as well,
Nothing really special here, it's just a good weapon. Now, against the Draconic Bombards, this really falls off because I don't have more Toxin on there with like Rivens, etc. It performs quite sad, actually. But if you have a Riven with Toxin on there, it gets a little better, but I personally wouldn't really advise using it against fully armored enemies without any form of damage amplifier. For the Paracyst, it's big surprise, exactly the same. Both weapons are very, very, very similar, with the only difference being that Hema is a little bit more, a little bit faster on these because the viral helps out with the gas procs, because it only needs to push through half of the health. But yeah, they perform pretty similar. Nothing really to say about that. They're just pretty good weapons. Same for the Bombards, obviously. And now against, when we're coming to the Draconic Bombards, yeah, it's the same struggle. Like, one of the issues with the Draconic Bombards in this like testing scenario is that they are pretty random, even if when they're paused. So like getting like a perfect comparison of like gas spreads against them, if you have like auto weapons, they'll flail around anyways, even without impact procs. So it's pretty hard to get like a perfect comparison. But yeah, it's this pretty, like, if you compare this to like other weapons, even if this looks like bad right now, like if you compare it to other weapons, like they perform way worse in terms of gas. But yeah, it doesn't really look that impressive, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, in conclusion, you've seen Paracyst and Hema are very, very underrated, I would suppose. Like, there are a couple people in the game that actually like the weapon, or like know its power. A lot of people are just turned off by infested weapons in general because in their eyes they look like crap. But I mean, personally, I think the Hema is very hard to color, but the Paracyst looks very nice if you just put on the correct color schemes. But yeah, they're very good in terms of damage, very effective at what they are doing. And if you like the burst fire, well, with the secret technique of scroll wheel down fire button, you can really achieve something. One little note for the Paracyst is that it has a grab, because it's actually just a Harpack clone. It has a grab, which is obviously very underwhelming because I didn't talk about it further in the video. Big surprise. Yeah, it's just kind of shitty and gimmicky and never really that useful. But yeah, other than that, Paracyst just a little bit better against levels between 0 and probably like 200, and Hema gets a little bit better after that. But yeah, both are incredible weapons, absolutely nice. They're just, that's what I meant with like low magazine capacity on the Burst on Prime. Because, as you could see, both of them could easily kill a row of enemies if they weren't Draconic Bombards in under one clip. That's really just where Burst On struggles a little bit, because it doesn't really have that good of a balance between those. But these two weapons, Paracyst and Hema, they really do. They have a very nice balance between magazine capacity and reload speed. So yeah, I would strongly advise you to give these a shot, maybe find a nice Riven for them. If you do, make sure to tell me about it in the comments. You probably should also make sure to like the video so more people are getting this video shown to them, so I get more viewers and possibly more subscribers. Speaking of subscribers, you should probably hit the subscribe button, because, well, the more people subscribe, the more I know that people actually enjoy what I'm doing, and that really gives me like a feeling of accomplishment personally. So if you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button so you aren't missing whatever new stuff I'm gonna upload. So yeah, if you like the video, like it, maybe subscribe, maybe comment if you have anything to say about this, and I hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, and see you in the next one. Bye.